Chris is dead.
No, Chris is dead.
Chris is dead.
Chris is dead.
Chris
he got too woke and just died.
Got too woken to go broken.
Yeah, got too woke to go broke.
Just like CD Projekt Red, just like EA, just like comic book shops run by SJWs across the country.
Well, not run by, but having to.
No.
Well,
no. There's comic shops that have been opened up, and I know one in particular that opened up and basically refused to sell comics to one guy. I think we actually discussed this in a previous episode. And
I think about the possibility. Yeah,
they closed down like a year later because they weren't getting.
I think I know exactly who they refused to sell comics of.
Jawbreakers.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's a surprise.
Yeah, that was the comic. They were all like, "No, get it away! It's evil."
Which I find weird because, as a comic book shop and as a person who's seen this, comic book shops are dying. There's a reason why a lot of comic book shops sell Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, things that are going to keep people coming back. Because they become a hobby store.
Okay, yeah, this is actually we did discuss this in a previous podcast because I'm starting to remember this because I talked about if I opened a store like this. I think this was the last podcast or something.
Oh well, now it's just being rolled over to this one now.
Let's talk about
Manny joined because I know he was going to mention. He and I were talking about last time during the D&D session. You know, the Wonder Bread guy.
Yeah.
Wonder Bread Man. I haven't heard from him yet, but I mean, but you know about Wonder Bread Man, the love of Wonder Bread.
Do you know the Wonder Bread Man?
I'm just gonna find a way to see if I can post images of the Wonder Bread commissions.
That's gonna be horrifying.
Yeah, but
they're not horrifying. I mean, upon first glance, they're not horrifying.
At first glance, but go ahead and tell us about Wonder Bread Man while you're doing this.
Okay. I mean, we're doing it now. It's like.
Yeah, we're doing it now. This is full podcast.
Podcast has already started. It's been started.
Okay. Oh. Yeah. But you're like, kind of a strange beard that would introduce me.
Nope, we run into this all natural. It's just whenever we find a good starting point, that's when we start, and we've already started because that's why we were talking about Chris getting woke over.
I guess just give context first who Wonder Bread guy is. There's a guy who commissions artwork, who is extremely infamous. He goes around through a wide variety of artists, just anybody, and what he does is he commissions them to draw a female character, be it from a cartoon, a manga, a television show, any female character, going out in the store, buying Wonder Bread from these store aisles that are just full of Wonder Bread. And that's just about it. They're just buying Wonder Bread. He also does secondary commissions where he has women engaging in some massive deforestation, usually holding a chainsaw as they cut the last tree. And it's seemingly innocent. It's just weird, but recently artists caught on who this guy was and just what he commissions, and he has become this thing that you have to worry, you have to be very wary about as an artist who accepts commissions, because he will just come and he will ask for it. You wouldn't even know it was him until you realize all the work he commissions. And like I said, the stuff he commissions isn't that fetish fetishy or anything like that. They kind of look really innocent.
It seems like a fetish.
They're just weird. Is what I'm saying.
It definitely seems like a fetish after that picture that Manny showed us.
Getting weird.
Because that picture of the horse head guy just drawing and being sad, and then this dapper guy pokes his head out of a room full of Wonder Bread and says weird fetish porn over the door. He's just like, hey, you ready to make some real money?
And that was a comic done by the legendary Sir. Really great artist.
This is the guy that's
I'll
so
see
bad
if I
that
can-
even Shadman turned him down, right?
Yes, Shadman, back in his more edgy days, turned down the guy for a commission. Like, he declined it. And if you know Shadman, that is like a huge surprise.
And I'll say this right now: who the fuck Shadman? Because as a person who does not know, I do not.
Shadman is like one of those really. He's pretty calm now, but he was like one of those really edgy, like internet artists. You could easily pick up from the style who Shadman is, but content-wise, like the best you can get is just straight up porn. The worst you can get is like you can get like full on like edgy racist, edgy sexist, edgy like
he still does.
It's just crazy.
He still does. Basically, the softest thing he'll do is pinups, and the hardest thing he'll do is just straight up balls to the wall porn. And more often than not, it's balls to the wall porn. And lately, there's been a lot of traps.
I think I got a thing between you, Chris, and Dimitri. So I'm gonna post some images of the commissions that were done. You'll see on Skype.
God, I might share these. I might share these just because of how fucking insane this is gonna be. But yeah,
if they don't look crazy,
she has a chainsaw
it's just
made of Wonder
concept.
Bread.
I love that statement. They don't look crazy at first, but if you keep staring off long enough into the void, it will eventually take your soul.
Yeah, but
that's like $500 for Wonder Bread.
Here's like a collection of images, I think, that someone posted of like
this
all the
bitch
stuff
is just
he's done.
buying all the Wonder Bread. What the fuck? This is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen.
I may have asked, but I'm gonna ask again. Have they ever combined it all together?
Yes, there's a lady with a Wonder Bread chainsaw. You can see it's one of the pictures.
Yeah, it's like the first picture he sent. I was hoping it would be like a giant piece of like Wonder Bread loaf as the chainsaw blade itself, but sadly it's not. I was really hoping.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's crazier when you realize because someone on this Tumblr thread that was talking about this whole thing explained that this guy was like obsessed with it. It wasn't like a Wonder Bread. It was and he would not stop talking about it. Apparently, he would go into his job and go into everyday life, just constantly talking about how awesome consumerism is, how it's hot, how.
Oh man, I was playing Warframe last night. God, that shit was great, man. It's better than it's the best thing since sliced bread. I'll tell you what's the best thing since sliced bread. Wonder Bread. That's what's great. You can have a woman go into a store and buy them for you right now. And then she can go on a picnic and deforestate the whole area. Let's go ahead and cut down the whole state. Oh, yeah. It gives me a raging boner thinking about it. Damn it, Steve. We're talking about video games, not your fetish.
He spent thousands of dollars on commissions, from what I've heard.
How much?
Just thousands.
Thousands? Okay, because it garbled out what you said, so... I don't
Yeah,
think I'd ever spend that much on a fetish, ever. I'd be lucky to spend like $100 on a fetish.
Yeah, but it's like, you sit there and you just gotta question why. Because, like, to me, it's like, I understand, like, on one part of my brain, I understand, but thousands of dollars on Wonder Bread and chain and deforestation. Out of every weird fetish that exists out in the internet, that seems the weirdest because of just how very specific and obtuse it is. It's just like, out of everything else, you're just like a general broad, like, oh, I like this. Oh, with a little bit down with this. This is
I like being tied up in
specific
thanks. I like Wonder Bread and deforestation.
Exactly, and that sounds like just there's more questions that I have, and I don't want to go down this rabbit hole.
I just imagine it.
I'll see
I
if
just
I
keep
can find
imagining
a
these
thread.
scenarios. It's just like, spank me harder, Daddy. Make me a sandwich and cut down this tree. What the fuck is going on?
It's both terrible and amazing at the same time for that statement. Just that's weird.
And you've never been commissioned by this guy, right?
No, I've never been commissioned by this guy.
You would tell us if you were, right?
I would tell you.
Oh God,
I
hope
would
you would
if
tell
got
us. I hope
commissioned
you'd
by this
show
guy.
us. I'd want to see this happen.
If I ever commissioned, I would tell you the first time. I would tell you guys immediately about it if I got commissioned by this guy. Okay. You know what? I found
that is a goal now. Mike, that is our official goal.
Okay, I found the Tumblr post that talks about this guy a bit more, and here it is. Okay, from the user who apparently knew him. He absolutely was not just a normal guy with a weird kink. This shit was pretty much his life pretty much. He had lots of talk about consumerism, slavery, and capitalism, why they were all good things. Almost to the point of a religion to him. He tried talking to me about his commissions of a comic, I believe, a Sami cutting down a rainforest and industrializing it, and like weird undertone of loving sandwiches. Everything he talked about in this aspect came down to sandwiches with him. He has spent thousands of dollars, if not more, on commissions for Asami abusing Korra, Asami owning a sandwich factory and slave labor, blonde women own sandwich factories and cutting down large expanses of forests, and the list goes on to other really strange stuff, but none of it inherently sexual. The only time I've known something sexual was his commission for Shadman, which was, to the best of my memory, him asking Shadman to draw Korra and Asami abuse porn with like focus on Korra having a limp dick. That's the most I remember that the screenshots he showed of his conversation with Shadman, which he did show off and talk about how unprofessional Shadman was for refusing to draw his commission. The way he fucking talks is just something mind-blowing to see a man this far stuck in his own little hole. On a more dark and serious subject, he has been fired from his job and possibly disowned from his family for this kind of stuff. He talked about sexually assaulting, and insulting the race or sexuality of his coworkers. People caught on he was kind of fucked up and emailed his boss over the stuff and got him fired. I got to watch as he complained about it, and the entire forum that he was talking about it blew up for a good solid 2 hours over how fucked up this guy is for thinking he did nothing wrong, and him insulting everyone. It was absolutely bonkers. The guy goes by the username, but I think he's deleted it, Murlogic with M-U-R-R, Logic. And he is, like, not worth the money. He is a very terrible, very crazy person. And, you know, it's just somebody, like, the internet, every artist on the internet is, like, looking out for to just make sure you never, ever interact with this guy.
The sad part is, I think Shadman went back and just did some Korra Asami, just like floppy dick art later on.
That sounds normal. Yeah, you know, just floppy dick. No one cares.
I mean,
I
like the design of the Shadman character. That whole fucking, like, Gestapo uniform-looking skullhead guy. It's just a really nice design for, like, his logo icon. It's definitely something Chris would probably get on a shirt.
Yeah.
Print that shit on a shirt.
But here's the thing. I mentioned this back in our Pathfinder session, that even if the guy commissioned me for a Wonder Bread commission, that would not be the worst thing I would have been commissioned for.
You brought that up, and that's on the table now. What the fuck have you, like, what was the worst thing you've been asked to be commissioned?
Well, I guess to provide context for viewers, I'm an artist. My stuff is dark, but not dark.
You're kind of breaking up. You're kind of breaking up. You might have to start over on that one.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My style is pretty dark. It's not dark in content, it's dark in style. It's more like back then it was like very Sin City style, very
Noir.
heavy shadows and a lot of stuff like that.
It's
I
very
like gritty
noir.
stuff, is what I'm saying. Now, most commissions I've gotten was based on fan art or just generally just action stuff. I've never been commissioned for a comic until only recently, in some years. But one of the first comic commissions I got an email I got an email. It was right around the time that I was starting college, and this guy had an idea. He came to me. He was like, "Oh, hey, I like your style, and I have an idea for a police comic." He wanted something like some like hard cop sort of story. So he gave me a link to a Google Drive script on his docs, and he wanted me to look it over, and he wanted to decide when we can do it, how much is it going to cost, all that stuff. Now, I gave it a look over, and when I first read it,
I remember this. Yes. Oh yes. Keep going.
Okay. I was reading it first, and for a while, it was all right. It was basically like the Punisher, cop gets an injustice done onto him. He doesn't trust the law to take it into his own hands, so he does it himself. Anti-hero guy goes out with guns and does stuff. Right?
Classic stereotype. Yeah.
Yeah. So for a comic that you get, it seemingly wasn't a problem, but I read on, and this cop was of course against gangs, and typical of me, nothing wrong with that. But the problem was with the depictions of the gang leaders and gang members. It was unapologetic. It was like full on like Mexican racism. It's like it wasn't just like in how they were depicted, smelly, gross, fat, disgusting, greasy and all that. But it was also in how the character talked about him. It's like these sick, like disgusting, like wetbacks. These fucking Mexicans. These.
What is this, Trump's wet fantasy? What the fuck?
Racist cop noir.
He was talking how it's gonna like.
Hold on, you're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Hold on, breaking up. Give it a second.
Okay. Yeah, hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, he was talking like, and the comic did not shy about how he wanted to like freaking like just kill them all in like gratuitous fashion. It was like Frank Miller's The Fixer comic, Holy Terror, but done amateurishly, and I don't know if that sounds worse or better. If
Probably
you know
worse,
Holy
because
Terror.
you can at least give credit to Frank Miller's madness to be like, as much as it's like it's bad, you can kind of wheel Frank Miller back in. Not well, but you can wheel him in a bit.
This is
Whereas this is amateurish.
It's an operating table,
very...
and I'm the doctor.
But okay, now here was the dilemma, and like Dimitri can vouch for it because I think I approached him about it.
Yes, you did.
I was in college, and I needed the money. And here's the thing, I was not open about I was not open about who I was, because not a lot of people know I am Salvadorian. And furthermore, they didn't even know that I was even Hispanic. So, I don't know if this guy like somehow knew, or he never found out, and he just had the bad luck of finding a Hispanic guy to just do a anti-Spanish.
Okay, hold up. You're breaking up again, but it was like cutting out every other third word, so it's just like
Yeah.
Pretty much to summarize it, it was very much of like, he was caught in a rock and a hard place, because this guy did not know Oscar was Spanish, which I thought your name was on your account, so I'm surprised that he did not see Oscar Rodriguez. But beside that point, no, hey, question, how did he not know if he saw your DeviantArt page, which you have a photo of you on?
No.
But still,
never played. It's not fun.
Wow, why is he
So-
breaking up so much?
I do not
I'm
know
sorry.
why you're breaking up, Oscar. Give
Are
it
you
a
like
second.
walking away from your PS4 or something?
No, I'm
No?
pretty close.
Huh.
All right, is it better?
Yeah.
It's better. Like it
Okay.
for some reason you keep having these wave moments of that.
Yeah,
Sure.
like when people
Um,
walk too far away from a Bluetooth connection, it just kind of starts jerking out. That's kind of what
Maybe
it's
I just-
sounding like.
Maybe if I just wire it to the P.
Yeah, that might work.
Yeah. Better?
Seems
Yeah, it's
like
better.
it.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know if this guy knew I was Spanish. Maybe he just ignored a lot of signs, or he knew I was Spanish and thought, maybe this guy doesn't care. And he's
Ha,
gonna do it
time
anyway.
to troll.
But here's the thing:
Maybe.
I was in college, and I needed the money, and I was kind of having a bit of a dilemma over whether or not I should do this because I'm thinking, okay, if I do this, I can just not put my name on it. I can just, I mean, my style changes a lot, so I can just deny it a bit, or just do it and say, it was a job, I had to do it. So I had a bit of a dilemma. Do I do this even though it's racist, or do I don't? And usually I don't care about racist stuff. I'm not bothered by it when it's directed towards me because I just kind of don't care. But it was like the first time I was genuinely affected. So I didn't know what to do, and I think I approached several of you guys, Dimitri. I think I approached you about it, about whether I should
did.
do it or not. Yeah, and what did you say?
I said it's a personal preference, and the fact is you have two routes to go down. You can set a precedence for yourself and say, I will not do work like this. This sets an ideology for people who come to you knowing that you have never done this work. But, on the other hand, doing this work, it was going to get you the money, but you are taking a risk, because this is much like when you do art for porn. It's, you have option A, you do it, but then you're opening yourself up to that whole internet of, like, you are willing to do porn, and how far down the rabbit hole you will be taken.
Yeah.
Or you don't, and
What's-
yes, you're cutting yourself off from a big chunk of the internet, but you are keeping yourself in that tight, like, that kind of, like, this is how I am, people. I'm not doing this.
Well, first of all, what's
Thankfully-
wrong with him doing porn?
It's-
Well, before I was staunchly against it. Nowadays,
I mean, that's why if you have commissions that involve porn, you set a rule list. You put on guidelines. No, this, or this. If you have a question about anything not listed, talk to me.
Yeah, no.
Communi-
Nowadays, nowadays I've got that. I've got it. I mean, back then I was pretty much a bit of an amateur. Thankfully, though, I never had to make a choice.
Dude, I see a lot of
Because-
fucking people on Twitter putting out commissions for artwork, like regular and porn, and it's just like, I follow one guy because I like some of his artwork, and like every other goddamn retweet from this guy is other people's artwork, and like every fifth picture is porn. I'm just like, god damn these commissioned people. I mean, bear in mind, the artwork's not bad, but god damn it, I don't need my Twitter feed filled with porn.
Filled with porn. That's what my computer's for!
That's not my fetish when I'm at work.
But back, rolling back, I thankfully never had to make the choice because I don't know what happened. I could not access the script anymore. I don't know if he like changed it or he deleted it and forgot to like put it back in. I don't know what happened. So I went and emailed him and I wanted to ask him to let me read the script again so I could, make a decision about it. He comes back and he tells me, "Oh, I thought you were already starting it." And I told him, "No, we didn't discuss the price yet. Heck, we didn't even discuss how we want to do this. I can't start on something we haven't talked about. Plus, I got other projects, so we're going to have to set up a schedule." And he says, "Oh, I thought you would only do this work." And I said, "No, I got other. I got other commissions, and if you want me to do only your thing, you're gonna
You're
have to
about to pay up the ass.
you're gonna pay a lot for like exclusivity.
I'm a
And
greedy bitch.
after that, I told him, you know what, I'd be willing to talk about it. And after that, nothing. I've never been contacted by him. Like he has like I've never gotten a message from him ever again. And that was like the almost like worst thing I've ever been commissioned to do.
That sounds like a really shitty thing to just have commissioned.
It really does.
But then again, if this was the kind of thing he wanted done so he could just post it on 4chan, I don't think the internet would care.
Yeah,
Well, then it's lost the ether of 4chan.
I mean, back then I was pretty new to it, but nowadays I've grown in a lot of ways, and I've kind of stopped caring about it. Mostly because I'm kind of working on projects that are either bigger or private, so I just don't care anymore. But if I were approached to do it again, I definitely say no. Mostly because of kind of how the internet nowadays has become a bit of a lynching party. Yeah. So if I were to do that, I'd be dead. I'd be out of a career.
So how much you gonna charge for porn, huh? You gonna do pinups? You gonna do straight up sex stuff? You gonna do like disembodied penises? What's going on? What's the news there? Update the world.
Can I have just EA just fucking a gamer in the back?
Well, EA does that anyway. What else is new?
Speaking of EA,
nice.
would you like to know the most interesting news?
Yes.
With EA recently, with their, do you know the controversy behind Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 5? Yes.
Yes.
Has
Just
something
to quickly sum it up.
has something to do with women in World War II, with prosthetic hands, right?
Yes. Face paint and all that. So, as you remember before, EA was like, well, if you don't like it, don't buy the game. Just don't buy it.
And they call
Apparently
people
that's come back to bite.
uneducated.
And call people uneducated.
Yes.
I love that
That has
part.
come back now to officially bite them in the ass. Because as of this point, EA pre-orders for Battlefield 5 are so bad, they're lagging behind.
Red Dead
Call of Duty Battle
and Black Ops 4.
It's behind Red Dead. It's behind Red Dead and Call of Duty, but it's behind Call of Duty by 85%.
Jesus.
Like
also-
they're trying to blame it on it's coming about at the same time as these two juggernaut titles. Bitch, that has nothing to do with pre-orders. It's not like we only have enough money once per year to buy one game. And
Also,
these pre-orders
isn't
are months in advance.
Also, isn't typically the general opinion is that Battlefield is just better than Call of Duty? I mean, I know the whole I don't know, just like, don't people generally say that Battlefield is just better experienced than Call of Duty?
It honestly depends on your preference. If you like close, tight-knit combat, Call of Duty is the way to go. If you like big, expansive battlefields, multiple people,
with vehicles and events going on,
then you want Battlefield.
But that's the thing. I mean, yeah, it kind of depends on taste. But if this was, Battlefield's not like the small indie game or something from a third party like Titanfall 2 was. It's
that's the thing about it. Titanfall 2 was EA fucking over the party because EA were the guys were the ones who published the game. And they released it in between Call of Duty Advanced Warfare and Battlefield 1, which, as a first-person shooter, you don't do that.
To be fair, I saw very little marketing done for Titanfall 2, but I saw shit tons of marketing done for the other two games. Especially Battlefield 1. It's the marketing teams at work. And when Titanfall 2, done by EA, is coming out with EA's Battlefield 1 game, it kind of kind of puts a wrench in things because you got to figure out which title do you want to sell more. A long-running established one like Battlefield or Titanfall 2. The game that is a fucking underground success amongst the community. That game is fucking awesome. I still need to go back and play some more.
It's tight. The game feels perfect in every different way. But the thing about it is that I feel like it's less having to do. It's dealing somewhat with the whole people not liking this is a historical inaccurate version of World War II. But I feel it's also everything that's going on recently with EA as a company has come back to bite them in the ass. Like, it's gamers saying, no, we don't have a problem with women in the game. We have a problem with you as a company and the shady tactics you've been putting into your games. We know this is going to go south some way or another. So everyone's now looking at them with a very skewed eye.
Yeah, the guys in charge of fucking the marketing and shit for Battlefield 5 and dealing with people are all kind of just glorified fuck-ups at this point, because they do nothing but screw around and basically just piss people off.
Yeah. I mean, I give them stones for saying if you don't like it, don't buy the damn game. I will give them straight up full credit on that, because that's some big old stones from EA to go, well, fuck it. But in the end, EA, if Battlefield 1 doesn't do extremely well, it's not going to hurt them in the pocketbooks. Like, it'll ruffle some feathers, but much like Battlefront 2, I don't think it's going to truly ruffle some feathers, because as of recently discovered by a British man, he spent $16,000 in FIFA.
Ugh.
Jesus Christ.
Why the fuck would you waste that much money on FIFA?
Because the FIFA Ultimate Team. Their little, game, setup of oh, hey, run these loot boxes, get all these nice guys, things like that. Because of that situation, a lot of guys have been, what ended up happening was, when that whole massive update came where everybody's you kept getting all those updates saying, hey, we have a new policy, we have a new policy, we have a new policy.
Yeah.
It's because the European Union, a bill had passed in the European Union which changed certain laws. And one of those law changes was you can actually go to a company and request certain information from them. So this this guy from England decided to call up EA. It took him forever to get this information because they didn't want to give it to him. It took him several months before they got this information. But he was like, okay, I want to know how much have I really spent in FIFA. How much have I spent in FIFA 18? Because, it's always been a few dollars here and there, but, with the whole controversy going on with Star Wars and everything, he wants to know what's really going on. It takes a few weeks before they eventually get back to him, and he goes through the paper trails. And originally he thought he spent $15,000 worth of in-game of just money. It wouldn't explain which packs he bought. It would just say he spent $15,000 overall in these general packs. EA wouldn't give him the details on what pack he bought or anything like that. Was it a summer special? Was it this? Anything like that. Because they said that was still technically privately owned. Because that would give him an advantage in-game, quote-unquote.
Yes, I'd like my receipt, please. No. Why? That gives you an advantage against the other customers.
Well, it's more that he got a receipt, but then it's you looking at it wait, I spent this much? On what? Yeah, we can't give you that. What do you mean you can't give me that? Yeah, because, that would give you an advantage over other customers of knowing how much you spent. So, yeah.
Yeah, some bullshit.
But what happened was, that's not the first part. The first part, he thought he spent $15,000. What ended up happening was, someone, I think either Reddit someone on Reddit went deeper with it. And as they went deeper with it, they discovered he didn't spend just like 15,000. He spent 16,000, almost to 17,000.
Wait, did you say 16 or 7? Did you say 16 or 60?
16.
Okay, because that was
No, not
1-6.
60. 16.
1-6.
1-6.
1-6 or
Okay.
1-7 total.
Yeah.
I,
All on just how, and that's the reason why, no matter what they change about Battlefield, no matter what they change about Anthem, no matter what they change about any other games, they're going to make their money because of FIFA. That's why FIFA will never change. No matter what, FIFA will never change.
like, I will buy cosmetic packs and loot boxes and stuff for games that I really like, especially smaller companies and shit. And I do that because that's me giving a little extra cash towards the games and company because I like the game, I like the product. With Battlefront, I never fucking did that because I'm like, this is horse shit. And I was not going to just shell over money for this piece of garbage. And when it came to something like Dead by Daylight, honestly, those motherfuckers really need the pay so they can afford the people to fix the fucking game and their bug. And, yeah, I'll throw some money that way. Here's fucking $10. Give me some loot packs. Give me some fucking Oryx cells so I can make my characters look stupid while I get them killed. Or let me make my killer look spectacular while he's stabbing people in the butt. You know, butt stabber. You know, I'll buy...
Yeah.
I'll buy, like, little tidbits and things if I like the game. If I really enjoy it, I'll pay the money out to get the extra shit because I want to support that game. So, but this guy has fucking lost his goddamn marbles if he's paying out $16K for goddamn fucking FIFA.
But that's the thing about it. It's that he never knew because, as he talked about it, it's that it's very much of like when you buy a loot box. It's the thing about it like when you'll buy like a few packs here or there, or there'll be like a big summer special where it'll be like, hey, yeah, get all these packs for this amount of price. And he would spend little bits. It just culminated and he never realized it. And that's the thing about it. This was a big wake-up call for him and his wife. And he's like, oh no, this is not happening again. Like, they're financially... He even admits, yeah, we are financially sound, but this is still a sticker shock. I did not expect to spend this kind of money. It's normally not in my thing. It's like, it's just every once in a while, you know, I'd be sitting there and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to buy just a quick box. Or buy at this specific time. And that's it. And that's where his situation comes from, is the fact is that you could buy a loot box, or you can buy, and it's never, that's what I think, it never shows which specific pack he bought. Just a general, you bought around this time kind of thing. And here's how much you spent. So in somewhat, it shows how slightly insidious these kind of things can be when it comes to loot boxes. At the same time, though, it's kind of, it is on him as well. Like, he's not, even he admits, I'm not without mistakes here. Like, it is on me for still spending that money, but it's still like a big wake-up call. Yeah, EA doesn't give a fuck. They will make their money. Even with the event with Battlefront 2, EA still financially was fine.
It says a lot of people bought the game.
A lot of people bought the game, but not even that. It was very much of their other games picked up the slack. Stuff like FIFA picked up the slack. So it's like, oh no, this game isn't selling well. Well, we got FIFA. We'll make our money back. We got NFL with their version of loot boxes. We'll pick up the slack. Like, it doesn't matter to them. And that's what I feel like is part of the controversy of people like, no, we're not buying your games, is that.
Yeah, it just strikes me as a little dumb, honestly. Speaking of dumb, didn't you say something about CD Projekt Red before we were starting all this?
Oh, yes. Well, it's a very minor thing compared to what EA did.
It's still something that you wanted to make a talking point
It cleans the palette.
It cleanses,
well,
cleanses that
CD
bad taste.
Projekt. Okay, well, the Cyberpunk 2077, 2277, Twitter got in a bit of a trouble
no.
when they responded to a comment with a joke. I don't know what the image was. I think it was like talking about like looking at an image of characters or whatever. And the Twitter responded with the joke, "Did you just assume their gender?" And it was up for 24 hours until it got deleted, and then they proceeded to apologize, which was the biggest mistake because immediately afterwards there was like a host of Twitter accounts from people who were like offended by the whole thing, talking about how they weren't going to, they were not going to buy the game, even though they were not planning on buying the game anyways. They were canceling their pre-orders, even though they admitted that they were pre-ordered the game to begin with. And overall, they were just mad.
If I had planned to buy your game, let alone plan to pre-order it, I wouldn't pre-order or buy it. The nerve! How dare you assume somebody assumes somebody's gender, you assuming son of a bitch! I hate that shit so much. When people say that kind of shit, if I read that in like a fucking webcomic, even like just as a joke, I just want to reach through dimensions, grab the person who said it, and then bitch slap them so hard I knock the cat food out of their mouth and they go flying through that goddamn wall.
See, to me, I feel like it's just like, it was fine, it was just poor taste, and it's like, especially nowadays, with everything going on, it's one of those things of like, okay, we're gonna crack a little bit of a joke. And it's gonna come back to bite us in the ass, because probably someone over at PR was like, what the fuck are you doing?
I got a
crack
joke.
A little bit of joke.
Knock knock. Who's there? How dare you? Can't even get halfway through the knock
that
knock
moment, you just see that motherfucker, just everybody stopped, looked at him, and was just like, motherfucker, we are trying to make this game. We are trying to be loved. We're one of the few companies that is loved.
So when someone walks up to that company and is just like, why did the chicken cross the road? Why? To get to the bitch on the other side. Knock knock. Who's there? The chicken.
But here's something interesting.
I don't know. I saw that.
Something pointed out by this guy named Mr. Miniker. Really fun guy. I watched. Bit of an asshole, but he's pretty awesome.
Of course.
Watch. He watches this. He's like, that son of a bitch.
I hope he doesn't.
I hope the Wonder Guy bread watches this and goes, ooh, I should commission him next.
I swear to God, next day if you get a commission, you have to tell us.
Oh,
I have to know.
Yes.
That's some shit I need to know, because damn it, that's amazing.
That'd be awesome.
Okay, here's what's happening. Apparently, a lot of the people that got mad just seem to have a very common theme between their Twitter profiles. All of them are just like all of them are like one thing. They're all like they have like those Twitter profiles where they just go way too detailed into who they are, and you just get an idea that one, a lot of them are furries for some reason. Two, a lot of them have like all these made up like pronouns and like titles and all of that, and they're also like kin stuff. Like if you're not aware, it's like they think they're like it goes beyond even furry. It's like they're like wolfkin or like catkin or anything like that. And it's just crazy that for some reason that's the common theme with all the people that are getting mad at CD Projekt Red's 2077 Cyberpunk comment. I don't know, just something that.
What's that phrase evolving? I become butthurt.
He's evolved into butthurt.
Yeah. Fucking what? You said something about titles. I understand the pronoun bits. It's where they like just throw a bunch of letters on a keyboard together and smash them at the same time. That's how I identify now. I am.
I
stuff like
identify as a helicopter.
stuff like they said they're
I
a system.
am a meat popsicle.
Like
their
if
system.
you like, no, this is like getting deep into like internet crazy stuff.
So one guy's like, the Grand Poobah, the Doink, of all this and
No,
that.
like some people say that they're systems of like multiple personalities. It's like if someone
Okay.
wanted to be a split personality disorder, but then they want to be quirky with it.
No, you do not have split
Wait,
personality disorder. Don't even fucking think you do, bitch. Because that ain't true. That ain't fucking true at all.
True.
God damn it. That's not how fucking MPD works. I will slap motherfuckers left and right. Oh. God damn it. The internet is full of a vile, hateful thing called people.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Is it too late to destroy all humans?
No. Yes.
You know, there's a lot of craziness.
I know what we
And-
need to do. We need to find Bill Gates and we need to bust his kneecaps open because that motherfucker helped create an advent age of intelligent fucking networking, and he needs to pay for his crimes. I love the internet, but goddamn, do I hate people on the internet? Holy fuck!
It's the
But
nature
you're
of
on the internet.
I said I hate people on the internet. I'm not people. I am a golden god.
I identify as a golden god, yes.
I identify as golden god. My pronouns are almighty and lord. Has anyone
I
done that
identify
yet?
as a pimp
Has-
named Slickback.
Yes, you should do that. I'll do a golden god.
I will totally identify as a pimp named Slickback.
You know what? If I recall, I think a college student actually did that.
God damn it, son of a bitch.
Of course, the college student. It makes
All right.
perfect sense.
I'm gonna
Well,
find
no,
him,
he did it
kill
as
him,
a joke. He did it.
Oh.
He did it as a joke.
So am I, but I have to find him and kill him and claim he's a false idol and that I am the true golden god.
Are we gonna have some Highlander shit here?
There can be only
We're
one!
gonna have some... That's how we're gonna solve. That's how we should solve all problems in the world. Highlander rules.
Yeah.
Just Highlander this bitch. We'll be fine. I swear to God, we'll be fine. I promise. Promise. Everybody be fine.
That would not solve Darwinism. It would not. It really wouldn't.
It wouldn't, but it would make me happier. Speaking of some Darwinism, you want to hear something stupid?
Is there any
Sure.
other kind of thing when we're talking about random shit?
True. Okay, this is gonna be very terrible on me, but you know the singer who just recently passed away?
Oh,
No, I'm not recalling.
wasn't she like a kind of like a jazz singer? Like
She's a famous woman of I can't think of her name, but it's she's one of the most famous women of all jazz, like blues. Jazz
Oh no,
style
I
music.
kind of recall.
Aretha Franklin. There we go.
Yeah, her.
yes, I know. I heard about her.
All
I
right,
heard she
so,
died, but I don't know anything else.
She's most people you know her for the song RASPECT. She's known for several beautiful blues songs, and they're all amazing. Here's what happened though. I believe it's this past weekend was the Video Music Awards, and during it, Madonna had won.
Woo!
She won an award there, and she comes out. First off, she looks fucking horrifying. If you look at the pictures, she looks fucking horrifying. I will try and find them and send them to you.
Okay,
But-
Put up on the Skype.
I will do that.
look him up
Well,
now
what
while
happened
talking.
is-
I need to see this now. I need to have a reaction on the podcast to this.
Because it's fucking it is just trashy shit, at least to me. But she comes on stage and they have a big, beautiful picture of Aretha Franklin in the background. It's beautiful. It looks nice, and she starts talking about it's like Aretha Franklin. And during it, you're like, okay, this is your usual Hollywood talking, blah blah blah. And at first, you think that she's about to start talking about Aretha Franklin. and it somehow turns it into a story about herself.
Oh.
So she's just a selfish bitch.
And
Gotcha.
she goes full up her own ass about it.
It's just a selfish bitch moment. Everyone has those. Especially
But
when
it's
you
the thing about
fucking
it, like-
stars.
But no, it's the thing about it was like, she goes for that, and people are like, what the fuck? It sounded like you were going to go for, an Aretha Franklin tribute. Why the fuck are you talking about yourself? And she's like, oh no, I was never talking about Aretha Franklin. That was all about me.
Oh.
Yeah, that would take way too long to talk about her, so I was just talking about myself. Yeah, that was the entire point of that. I mean, I'm the one who won the award.
Okay, just got the Skype thing. Let's see what it is.
Alright.
And I was like, yes, that is the picture. And I was just like, that's not. You don't. I don't know how I feel.
She looks like a
angry?
She looks like a cracked out Jamaroika cosplayer.
She looks like
That's actually amazing. Thank you.
she looks like a college student who thought she had a she had a pot brownie, but no, she just had a regular
No,
brownie.
oh no! I'll tell you what it is. She's a fucking college student studying anthropology and Black history and African studies, and she thinks she's part of the fucking culture.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably not wrong there. I can't deny that.
I've seen this
Oh
before.
man, that is just so
This
tacky.
is a bad case of mistaken identity of race. That's all it is. That's all it is.
That's all it is. But that's what she said. And by God, do I not find it both the most amazing piece of shit, but at the same time, it is so goddamn dumb. It's like, I don't know how far you're up your own ass, but this is both amazing and stupid.
This is reaching new levels of low. Making out with Brittany, I could get behind that. That I could get behind. Not just because it's two women kissing, but the whole reason they did it. They explained why they did it, and in a kind of like pseudo-spiritual sense, it made a little, like, made a little bit of logic click in my head. Said, yeah, that could work. I'll go with that.
I accept
But this picture alone seems like a fucking horrible attempt at something.
It is, and
It's
by
like
God,
it's like
that's why I
Madonna's
find it
become
both-
a fucking attention whore at the VMA this year. What the fuck?
I mean, she
Oh,
is,
I mean,
because
it
the
is
VMAs have
Madonna.
never gone without some controversy. I mean,
Yeah, it's
my
Madonna.
God, we need it.
It's Madonna, not Lady Gaga. There's a difference.
There is a difference, but nobody cares right now.
Madonna will wear slinky dresses and regular shit. Gaga comes out wearing fucking meat clothes. And
Or fetuses. I don't care.
and
It's
fetuses
something weird.
and bacon goggles and burning cigarettes and fucking. Then she'll come out wearing like the goddamn masking tape fucking bikini thing she had in that one fucking video. Like, what the fuck?
Best thing about it, you expect that from her.
Yeah.
You just kind of just like, you roll with that like, yeah, that's normal. This
Yeah.
Lady Gaga, that's normal.
Yeah, you expect that shit from Gaga. From Madonna, Bitch, you best straighten your act out
Well, I
and
do
stop
expect
looking like you're a
Madonna's
fucking
head to be
junkie.
so far up her own ass. Just deep up her own ass.
Yeah, it was really far up there. From the sound of things. So, oh my god. That's horrifying. I've got this
Yes,
image
it
in my
is.
head of a cracked out Madonna cosplaying as Jamaroika, looking like she's a goddamn confused as fuck anthropology student studying African studies who just got back from, like, Jamaica. Like,
I
she is
kinda
so
wanna-
confused, she doesn't even know what planet she's on anymore. She'll be
Yeah,
like my
Fred on that,
grandmother.
that's fucking Fred.
She's like my grandmother, who was an Alzheimer's patient. I was like, do you know where you are, Grandma? Yeah, I'm in Washington, Texas. I'm like, that's not a place, Grandma. Why are you moving all your bags onto the curb? I'm waiting for my dad. I don't think he's going to show up anytime soon, Grandma. Like...
Why, I believe he'll show up.
My dad called me a cab. I highly doubt that, Grandma. I highly doubt that. I don't think your grandpa's calling a cab from Texas and from beyond the grave. Grandma, let's go back inside and wait, shall we? Like, oh my God. We had...
Go back inside.
Why? Why is this my life?
Because you choose to be around us. You choose to take this bullet.
No, not you guys. No. I'm fine with you guys. It's everything else on the planet that's causing a problem. They all need a fucking juice box taken out of their hands, a smack on the ass with a ruler, and then to be shoved into the corner for nappy time. Jesus Christ. This... God. You know what? I know we need to take their juice boxes. You know why? It's turning the frogs gay!
Poor Alex Jones. He's no longer on the internet.
I never really... Oh, no. He'll be on the internet forever. In memes.
In memes, yes. Because that was the thing about it. Alex Jones has been kicked off Facebook, YouTube, what else was it? Twitter? Like, every major company on the internet just kicked him off, and it's like, no.
Why did they kick him off? I don't really know the reason for his firing or anything. I don't know what the controversy is.
Alex Jones is a very extremely controversial figure because he leans, like, it's less than like he leans right. He goes to the crazy bunker, like, the world's gonna end kind of, like, Republican side, or just people.
He has a very strong, very strong into conspiracy of globalism. You know, the just governments working together to manipulate the people. But he's also, and just the thing that's very unforgivable, he is like every school shooting. He believes that
it's all fake and that they're hired actors and things like that. To the point that with the Sandy Hook shooting, with all those kids being shot, he said like, "Oh, they're all fake actors," because you can see one of the dads like, trying to like laugh and then starts crying as soon as the camera's on him. Shit like that. Like he's just a piece of shit person. And which he's already gotten when he went to trial for his kids, because his wife was like, he's an insane man, I don't want him near our kids. He was like, oh no, this is all an act, this is all not real, it's this is all of an act, I do this so that way I can feed my family. He lost the court case, but he plays it up to the extremes. And with the Sandy Hook thing, it was one woman believed in him so much, she started sending death threats to the parents of one of the kids who died, saying, "Oh, you're a fake, and if I'm gonna come find you and kill you and shit like that." So the reason why he was kicked off, the official reason why, was because they believe that because of the way his like support and crazy podcasting is leaning to very racist riots, things like that, and they're trying to put a stop to that. My opinion, however, is they saw the writing on the walls and was like, eventually people are going to just question, how the fuck does this guy still have a YouTube account, a Twitter, and all these things, and we've done nothing to stop him?
Yeah, there's one site I think that would put an InfoWars back up, though. Like archives and shit. Maybe even where he might even go to. It's like Bit something or the other. I don't remember the name, but I could get back to you on it. But yeah, fucking...
Right.
I don't know, he just seemed like a babbling idiot on YouTube to me. I didn't even know for the longest time if it was a YouTube show or like a TV show. That's how little I know about how much I know about InfoWars. I know jack shit.
it's a yes. It's actually like there are clips of it on YouTube. He has his own website where you can give him money, either just fund him, buy these things, because the way he makes his money is he makes his money off of selling like substances, things like that, like herbal medicine pills, things like that.
He's got his own Rasta pharmacy, yeah. I don't know
Oh, yeah,
why
like,
I
it's
sound
like
German while doing the
pharmacy.
Rasta voice, but it works for me.
But yeah, he does the whole 9 yards, the whole shebang bang. He's pretty much set up, and he actually makes millions upon millions of dollars off this shit.
He's got all that in a bag of chips.
Pretty much.
I don't know. The guy never really interested me. The only thing that made him interesting to me in any way, shape, or form was when he'd pop up in a meme video and somebody would do something weird, like put tinfoil hats on his head. Or they'd splice him in screaming about the frogs being gay at the last minute for, like, a gag. Or...
Which hilariously turned out to be true.
What? They were making the frogs gay with something in the water?
Yeah.
Good for them.
Not intentionally, but yeah.
Good for them.
Well, I mean, they weren't being gay; they were being turned hermaphrodites. But yeah,
I mean, would that really affect the species that much?
no, because frogs are amphibians and stuff about like changing sex. I mean, it's like a technical win on his part.
A technical, but we don't want to give him that win. Let's just take out those.
Oh, I get it. I got a comparison I can make on that one. I got it. In my head, I got it. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm chipping what you're blocking.
Got it? You got it? Yeah.
Because that's where I'm going with this. Yeah, technical wins are just the chip damage victories in fighting games. It's a fucking cop-out bullshit way to win.
That it is.
Yeah. Speaking of a cop-out, I think it's about time we wrap this up because, god damn it, I gotta go get me a bottle of water and see if it turns me into a hermaphrodite and turns other frogs gay.
Of course. Why
But,
not
yeah.
turn all the frogs gay?
Yeah, thank you, Oscar, for sharing the horrible Wonder Bread and Shadman compilation story thing and spreading the good words to the internet about Wonder Bread.
Everything.
Everything. Oh, I got one. Remember, kids, don't drink the water.
Don't drink the water.
Don't read the comment section. Don't get on Twitter and read people's shit ever. You'll have a bad time. And if you subscribe to artists on Twitter, be careful. Every 5th post you'll see retweeted by them will be porn. And as always, stay sunny, my